Welcome back, dear audience. Today I started off my day very simply. I was just checking out the town. With the new buildings they had built. We now had a police station, which was built by Rage, and I actually had my own office in there. Sadly, I didn't have permission to put anything down, so it's going to stay empty for the foreseeable future. But nevertheless, it's nice to have. I checked out some other houses around here. They were all lovely. There was this one flying that was kind of in the sky. Which was an amazing build. I'd never seen anything like this. But yeah, there's some really, really nice additions. Some wonderful, beautiful additions. And it made my shack look even worse, standing out like a sore thumb. When I was exploring different houses, I came across a Charmander. And I kind of like Charmander. He's obviously a great starter. Very well known, popular Pokemon. And so I tried to catch him. But it didn't go to plan, really. Because my Pokemon accidentally, killed him, which was not amazing. Don't kill him. Oh, okay. Lovely. Yeah. No. How? I voted on the server and managed to get some star crates back at spawn and opened them up. Got some loot. I don't think there was anything too crazy in there. I got some potions and probably some Pokeballs. But yeah, I just kind of kept moving after that. It was a good little side quest, but nothing kind of crazy in there, unfortunately. I then decided to go exploring. I know I'd done this last episode, but I'm a curious fella. Alright, in a survival situation, you always have to get the high ground. So I jumped in, started flying around, and I came across a savannah village. And there was actually quite a lot of stuff I wanted from this village. The first house I entered, I basically looted the whole top floor. I don't think they realized I'd taken anything. I was really cool with it, smooth criminal kind of style. Take that as well. I need this. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yes, the light blue. So you might need to fix that right. Is that the time? Sorry, can I just check the time? Oh. Yeah, no, your clock's broken as well. I'm going to get the battery changed for you right now. Let me handle that one. Thank you, guys. And the second house I went to, she definitely didn't realize that I stole anything. I was so cold with it. I wanted some stuff from behind her. Examined some of her artwork. No, I'm an art connoisseur, madam. Madam, if I could just... Oops. That is such a nice painting. Can I examine that one? Thank you. No, thank you. I'm having a lovely look. Oh, hold on. I'll put it back. Nah, it looks wonderful. You've seen painting in my eyes. And just generally had a look around. It was looking nice, but as I say, there wasn't anything crazy special in there that I desperately needed. Page 101. That's my favorite book. Wow. What a read. That's such a great read. Behind the savannah village, there was actually a much bigger village, or kind of town, that I found. It was with brick houses, as you can see, and there was definitely many things in here that I wanted. First thing I took was obviously a bike, which, very typical Pokemon, but I'd never even thought about it or seen one before. So it was a lovely addition, and I thought I could just park it outside my shack and it would look perfect. I also entered some houses, did some safety inspections, Hello, inspection time. Baking's nice. Baking's lovely. I'm just inspecting the house. It's just, typical stuff. Just, government intrusion. Classic. Spoke to some people around the village, just kind of checking out the situation. All the houses were kind of similar, and there wasn't actually that much stuff in there. But I did come across a huge factory, which was very interesting. And I managed to crawl my way through past the guards and check out what was inside. Oh. Boss. Hold on. There we go. Hey. You're in game. I mean, it literally was just a huge factory. There was not that much more to it. There were a huge amount of trainers in there that were all really aggressive and wanted to fight me. But I fled. I pressed the flee button every time a battle came up, and just ended up wandering around. I did find some diamonds in a chest, and I think I stole their computer, which maybe was not a good thing. But game's the game. I'm still here, and that's just what happened, really. So I ended up leaving them. I promised that I would come back and defeat them all when I was a bit stronger. But for now, they were safe. But no one knows for how long. Now, when I got back to my shack, I thought, you know what? This place is kind of getting a little bit cramped. It's tiny bit too small, you know? I need some space to expand. So I thought I might build either an extension or just a whole separate house. And after surveying the land, checking out what I could do with my resources, I decided just to kind of build a separate house that went into the side of the mountain and was on top of the water. I decided to go for a tiki theme and used some palm wood because I thought it would kind of feel a bit more tropical. It'd give the area a bit more of a tropical feeling, which was a lovely feeling I wanted to bring to the community. And as you can see, I ended up just making a floating house with some stilts, and I'm going to build it further back into the mountain to give myself some extra storage space and just generally space to mess around with. But I don't really need a huge house. Most of the time, I'm actually not at home. I'm outside exploring, fighting battles, doing this and that, and generally don't need a massive house. After completing my work on the house and adding on some little extras here and there, I decided it was finally time for me to do the very typical Pokemon thing and get my first gym badge. The first gym was a bug gym, and bug Pokemon are weak to fire, flying and electric, so I of course assembled a team that would give me the upper hand. When I first entered, I had to battle my way through trainers left, right and centre, and actually my Jirachi took care of almost all of them single-handedly. I think he defeated all of the trainers by himself, which was actually insane. But it was lucky because it took me maybe less than 5 minutes to do. So I was happy with that one. After battling the trainers and getting through this spiderweb maze trap thing, whatever it was, I was finally ready to face the gym leader and earn my badge. Now, I must admit this is easier said than done, okay? We could only use a team of 4, and the first 2 Pokemon I threw out every time I started a match just got annihilated instantly with a single hit, without even me getting a single attack off. So I was doing exactly 0 damage and receiving all of the damage, which was not amazing for my team's health. I must have attempted to defeat this gym at least 8 or 9 times, and no matter how many Pokemon I swapped in or out, or how many expensive items I bought to give my team an advantage, I couldn't pull off a victory. I just couldn't. So I decided I needed to reach out for help. I met this guy called Half Noob Gamer at spawn, and I told him about the trouble I was having with the bug gym. Half told me he had actually beaten all of the gyms on the server, and he offered to help me, which was a very generous offer. Although I didn't realise his generosity expanded to the extent which it ended up being. Half ended up trading me a Grentu, which is a hybrid Pokemon, and a Groudon, which are both insanely strong Pokemon that would of course help me beat the gym. And this was more help than I ever expected to receive. Now with these new forces at my side, I rampaged through the gym once more and finally got to the top of the building where I faced the gym leader. It was time to finally see if I had been helped enough to the point where I could defeat the first gym leader. The first Pokemon I sent out was my Electabuzz. Because he was an electric type Pokemon, I thought he would have a great advantage, but unfortunately he fainted after the very first attack, as standard. Next, I sent out my Emboar, and with his flamethrower attack, he actually managed to defeat the first opponent, which was a great achievement for me, I must say. My opponent sent out Scyther to take out my Emboar, and he did his job with a single attack. Of course, I had to retaliate by sending out my Jirachi. I wanted to save the hybrid Pokemon for the last and final stand. Jirachi managed to use Meteor Swarm and finished off Scyther without any problems at all. My opponent sent out a Pokemon called an Orbeetle, and this meant that we were both down 2 Pokemon. We were neck and neck. Unfortunately, Jirachi was just on such low health, he fainted at the very first attack, which was slightly disappointing but understandable. This did mean the whole rest of the match was lying on the shoulders of the Grenchu. I sent him out, not knowing his capabilities, but with his effective Dark Pulse attack, he managed to knock out the Orbeetle straight away with 1 hit. I'd never seen this kind of performance, well, at least from my side, before. I had been hit like this plenty of times, but I'd never been the one hitting. Finally, we were both down to our last Pokemon. Once again, I decided to use Dark Pulse, and once again, it was super effective, taking a good chunk of Avillion's health. Now, the counterattack nearly finished me off, but Grentu managed to keep it together, and with a final Dark Pulse, I closed out the match and finally got my first taste of victory. It had taken me more than 10 attempts, but I had finally cleared out my first gym and had the badge to prove it. Crazy. Yeah, you're done for. You're cooked. You're cooked by my team. Well, not my team. Some of my team. Some of my team. Not all of my team. A lot of my team. But you're still cooked nonetheless. Okay. This was a glorious moment in my Pokemon training career, and I went back to spawn, and of course I celebrated with Half, and I gave him back his very strong Pokemon. Half was so happy I'd finally won, and as a reward, he actually gave me a white Charizard as a congratulations. It looked amazing, I must say, and it was probably a better prize than I deserved from defeating, the first gym, which everyone seems to be able to do very easily. News of my victory spread pretty quickly around the server, and this player called Immolation wanted to see if I was really all this and that. She challenged me to a trainer battle, and of course I wasn't going to say no. Now, this wasn't my first trainer battle ever. You've seen me, I think it was episode 2, I fought Rage. Of course I lost, but I was no stranger to these kind of battles. And I must say, with the team I had on me and my past experiences, I didn't have high hopes for myself. I really didn't. But I thought it would be fun anyway, so I ended up doing it. Immolation was a water trainer, and she'd actually built the perfect stadium for this kind of event. Immolation and myself went back and forth, sending out one Pokemon after the other, doing this, doing that, hitting each other here, hitting each other there, Pokemon fainting left, right and centre. It was all a big bundle of chaos, really. But as the battle was drawing to a close, I realised that my situation was not looking good, to say the least, okay? I was on the ropes, as some might say. But it was then, in this dire moment, on the brink of losing, that I realised I had something up my sleeve that just might let me win. Along with my Charizard, Half had actually given me an item called Max Revives, which revived a Pokemon up to full health. This, if I could use it correctly and on the right Pokemon, should get me the win against Immolations. And dear audience, that's exactly what I did. I used the Max Revive on my Tyranitar, which defeated 1 or 2 of Immolation's Pokemons. It's basically a strong dinosaur. And when he was getting low health, I brought back my Jirachi, one of my favourite Pokemon. My Jirachi was hitting people with Meteor Swarms and all this kind of crazy stuff, and finally, I managed to get my first victory against an actual trainer. I mean, what a turnout. I've had 2 victories in one episode. This is unheard of. Really, I mean, this shouldn't be happening at all. As a prize, I received a shulker box, and Immolation said she'd give me a tour of her village, which I of course accepted because I wanted to see this place. The whole village was underwater, and the first building she showed me was a sunken ship which actually had a school inside. Obviously it was, I don't know, holidays or something. There were no children in there, but that's just fine with me. We kept them moving. The next thing we saw was her house, which was basically a glass ball on the ocean floor, and it did actually remind me of a fishbowl, funny enough, but I guess that was the theme we were going for. You can watch TV from outside the house. Oh, what a luxury. I also saw the forge, which was very nice, and Immolation also showed me the library, which housed a sacred book that told the village's history. This is actually a very good book, and if you stop by, you should definitely give it a quick little read. I'm not going to spoil it though. We finally finished the tour by visiting a hotel that was still under construction, and I told Immolation that as soon as it was finished, I would be her very first guest. I would come and stay and check it out and see what it's like, because actually so far it was looking pretty cool, and you know, it was underwater, which you don't get every day. At this point the tour had concluded, and I made my way back to my own brand new house next to my old shack, and I sat on my chairs that had definitely not been stolen. Okay, I don't want to hear anyone saying that they were stolen. They were definitely not. And I just enjoyed my surroundings and the village that had been built around me. And that's where I'm going to have to leave the episode for today. Thank you very much for watching, dear audience. I hope you enjoyed. Please join me next time for the next episode, which will be coming out very soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, I guess, if you think I'm a chill guy. But unfortunately, this video is over. So off you go. Goodbye. Time for you all to go. Enjoy the end screen.